The locker room silence after Super Bowl 60 is still deafening, but what went down in the shadows of Santa Clara reveals a path nobody saw coming. We are standing at a massive crossroads that could redefine this dynasty forever. There are secrets emerging from the tears of our leaders and contract situations that are going to shake the very foundation of Foxborough in the coming days. You won't believe what we have on tap for today. So grab a seat, smash that like button, and let's get right into the news. Subscribe now. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. The footage that went viral after the clock hit zero in Santa Clara wasn't the Seahawks celebration. It was something much deeper happening on the turf at Levi Stadium. Picture this, the biggest stage in sports, millions of eyes watching, and the future of our franchise caught in a moment of pure raw emotion. The cameras panned to Drake Maye, and what they captured wasn't just a loss. It was the birth of a legend forged in fire. That moment perfectly encapsulated what it means to be a Patriot. Dave Portnoy, who always has his finger on the pulse of this fan base, reacted instantly. He wasn't losing his mind over the interceptions or the 29-13 score. He saw something that no box score can ever measure. Portnoy came out and said that seeing Maye in tears was exactly what he needed to see to feel good about our future. It might sound crazy to find peace in a kid's heartbreak, right? But for anyone who lives and breathes New England football, that public vulnerability was the ultimate proof of character. Maye didn't tuck tail and run for the tunnel. He felt the weight of the crown. He cares just as much as every single one of us who was screaming at the TV. This changes the entire vibe for next season. Nobody expected this kid to drag us this far in year one. Making it to the Super Bowl this early in his career is like a 5-year cheat code for his development. Portnoy hit the nail on the head when he said the future is bright, because now we know we have a dog at quarterback who refuses to accept losing as part of the business. The fans across social media have rallied around that pain, turning the sting of a runner-up finish into pure fuel. Maye showed he's human, but his drive to win is clearly on another level. That emotional bond between a quarterback and this city is how you build empires. We walked off that field defeated, but with the absolute certainty that the franchise is in the right hands for the next decade. The tears today are the trophies of tomorrow, and the way he owned that moment proves he's ready to carry the shield. While we are all still processing that emotional heavy hitting from our QB, a quick comment in the tunnel has people second-guessing who will actually be lining up next to him when we kick off next fall. The fog of uncertainty hanging over the team after that Seahawks loss got real heavy when one of the cornerstones of our offense stepped up to the mic. Stefon Diggs, the vet who brought that much-needed edge back to Foxborough, looked like a man carrying the weight of a cloudy future. Losing 29-13 was a gut punch, but what followed put Patriots Nation on high alert. When he was asked point blank if he'd be rocking the navy and silver next season, his answer was short, dry, and brutally honest. Diggs didn't dance around the question or make any empty promises about being a Patriot for life. He just said he hoped so. That one little phrase hides a mountain of complexity that could totally blow up Mike Vrabel's tactical plans for 2026. At 32 years old, Diggs knows exactly how the NFL business works. He understands that a player's desire is only half the battle. The other half is all about the cap space and the front office's long-term blueprint. The strategic fallout of him leaving would be massive. Diggs was the safety net for Drake Maye's growth, the veteran voice in the huddle, and the guy who commanded double teams to let everyone else eat. Losing that leadership now, right when this team proved it can hang with the best, would be a massive blow to our momentum. The fan base is already split on the timeline. Some want to pay whatever it takes to keep that offensive chemistry alive, while others are worried about the age cliff. The silence from the front office is only making the tension worse. This isn't just about a contract, it's about the support system for our star quarterback. Diggs admitting the choice isn't entirely in his hands shows a lot of respect for the organization. If that was his final act in our jersey, there's going to be a massive hole in that locker room. But if he stays, the buy-in has to be total to go get the ring that just slipped through our fingers. If you think the roster questions are only headache, the way the man running the whole ship handled the post-game gave us a perspective nobody was ready for. As the dust settled at Levi Stadium, the man who flipped the script for the Patriots this year took the podium with the same stone-cold grit. he had back in his playing days. Mike Vrabel, the architect of this whole turnaround, didn't look for a single excuse for that 29-13 finish. In a moment of sharp honesty, he flat out admitted we got outcoached and outplayed. Seeing the NFL Coach of the Year own it like that is what separates a regular coach from a championship leader. The sting of this loss goes deep, but Vrabel's breakdown focused on the stat that hurts the most. Drake Maye getting sacked 6 times for a loss of 43 yards. That's a total gut punch, because it shows our offensive line caved in when it mattered most. Vrabel made it clear that 14 wins and an AFC East title don't mean a thing if we don't learn from failing on the big stage. He was the heartbeat of this squad, taking us from the basement to the top of the conference in just one season. The respect this roster has for him, especially Maye, is the foundation for everything we're building. However, Vrabel dropped a warning for the offseason that should have everyone on notice. He isn't going to reinvent the wheel, but he's demanding a brutal level of growth. He knows the window in this league closes fast, and that being satisfied is the biggest enemy in Foxborough. The fans are hyped about his Coach of the Year award, but the vibe in the building is that the job isn't finished. Vrabel is already scouting the draft and free agency with a chip on his shoulder, looking for the right people to bring into the facility. He knows 2025 was a hell of a ride, but 2026 is the real test. That whole start-from-scratch mentality he preached after the game is the classic DNA we've been missing for years. Now the challenge is keeping the coaching staff and the front office on the same page. So this loss is just the setup for a massive comeback. At the end of the day, the pain we feel right now is what builds the character of the guys lifting the trophy next February. Everything we went through today was a total roller coaster that defines what it means to be a Patriot. We saw that Drake Maye has the heart of a champion. Stefon Diggs is ready to ride for us, and Mike Vrabel is the absolute right guy to lead us back to the promised land. This loss hurts now, but the foundation we laid down this season is permanent, and it is built to last. Now I want to hear from you. Who is the one player we need to bring in to finish the job in 2026? Drop a comment, hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe. Let's go get that ring together.